Hi, welcome to All Things Core. I'm Natalie Rand, and I am here today to talk to you about Ayurveda. All right, Ayurveda is the science of life. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice in medicine and in lifestyle. It's literally an old, ancient practice that's been around for about more than 5,000 years. And I discovered it about going on almost 15 years ago now. And it's really helped me improve my life, my perspective, my daily practices and routine, and even my understanding and relationship to what we call the universe. All right. I want to share with you today some very helpful and supportive tips that I've learned and have accumulated in my wheelhouse from many years of Ayurvedic practice and what the differences are in spring versus fall. So in spring and in fall are like two seasons where there's shedding that happens. And it's a great time to reboot your system, to clean your house, to clean your, to basically restart, right? You have all the sluggishness of the previous season. So you have like maybe a little lethargy, or you may have had more food and just less movement because of due to holidays or due to lifestyle. It's just very much a season of um, the kapha season is spring, right? So it's usually the earth element where there's earth and water. So all of the things that you've accumulated in the wintertime start to sort of run out of the system. So in order to support that and to rejuvenate and reboost yourself, there are diet adjustments that happen. There's potential herbal support that you can use. There's lifestyle changes that are incredibly supportive. And then finally, there's also the realm of seasonal cleansing, right? And I'm actually currently on a spring cleanse. It's very gentle, very light. I'm eating the whole time. A lot of people, when they hear the word cleanse, or, they immediately think there's like a fast, like I can't eat, or, oh, there's juicing or what have you. But the one that I'm on specifically is khichdi. And that's something we'll talk about in the near future, because today I just wanted to touch base on maybe like 3 things that you can do in your everyday life to support the spring, right? So one of the things you can do is adjust your diet. You can favor light, warm, and dry foods to counteract kaphas, like kapha being the earth and the water qualities, heaviness, right? You want something that's moist, and this would include bitter, pungent, and astringent tastes from foods like ginger, turmeric, heavy greens, radishes, legumes, beets, apples. Those kind of things are fantastic in the spring. Now, if you all are naturally very much those qualities, you're going to err on the side of caution and do it and just really try to stick to seasonal ingredients when you go into the farmer's market. If you're having specific issues in either of those areas, well, at that point, you have to go, maybe I need to visit an Ayurvedic practitioner. Maybe I need to check in with my actual general practitioner before starting any new practices. In terms of herbal support, again, I would highly recommend seeing an Ayurvedic practitioner, which I am actually an Ayurvedic health counselor. At the end of this summer, I'll be a practitioner. So I'll be available to answer a lot of those questions. But currently, I am giving you a very broad perspective on Ayurveda. So keep that in mind. Another thing too that you can do to help support this spring are engage in more rigorous movement and exercises. So today we're going to do some really simple breath work, and we're going to do the sun salutations, which is Surya Namaskar. And I'm basing my Surya Namaskar today on this beautiful book that I absolutely love, right? See this there, asana, pranayama, mudra, Banda. All right. This is a beautiful book. It has some really, really simple exercises. It's a great introduction to anyone that has yoga in their life, or even if they're brand new. And if you didn't already know, yoga is Ayurveda's sister. So it's definitely something that you want to incorporate, and we'll be referencing this particular book today when we do our 12-step Surya Namaskar. Maybe some of you are already yogis. It's going to be a little different for you because it's more simple and more approachable for most. Another thing I wanted to mention is one of the things that's going to be ideal if you decide that you want to do a cleanse, or even if you just change your mealtime, something that would be fantastic to implement in the spring would be to wake up with the sun, right? So if you're a person that gets up at 10 o'clock, that's awesome, right? That's great. But you may feel that you may not be as motivated, or maybe you are because you're accustomed to that. The ideal thing to do it rhythmically is to get up with the sun. So between about 5 and 6 is like ideal. But if you're getting up already at 10, you want to slowly, incrementally bring that time back, right? Another great thing for you to do that would be fantastic time wise is during lunch to have your lunches between 12 and about 1, 2 o'clock, because that is the high agni time. That's the time that your digestion fire is the strongest. So you're going to get the best assimilation of your food. You're going to get the best metabolizing of the food and elimination. And finally, for dinner, you want to actually have your dinner between 5 and 7 p.m. This is setting up your body system for success. And if it's in good standing and you're not having any troubles or any other things that you're personally dealing with, you'll find that just shifting those times will serve you, especially during these shedding and seasonal changes. All right. So, on that note, I would love to walk you through a very simple Surya Namaskar, and we're going to do 12 steps. All right. So, I'm here in my Pilates studio in sunny Santa Monica, and we are going to go on a beautiful ride of movement. All right. Again, here I'm Natalie Rand, and I'm excited to introduce you to some things that are going to change your life. All right. So I'm going to move you down here with me so we can get this party started. Here we go. So we're going to move back here. I have my yoga mat set up, and we're going to start at the very top. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is get your feet to the very top of the mat. Both of the feet will be together. Find yourself in a position where both of the legs are going to squeeze. The navel's going to pull in and up. And I guess I could actually take off my jacket, but since you can still see the movement, I'm going to keep it on for now. Both palms go in front of the chest in a prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up. This is the second step. 3, drop your body forward and fold. Bend the knees if you need to. 4, step one leg back to do a nice lunge as you reach to the side of the body. Feel the feet resist the floor. 5, step your feet into what's known as downward dog, and today we'll call it mountain pose according to our book that we're referencing. And go all the way to the 8 points, which is kind of like a little crawling position. Your chin's on the floor, both hands and knees and toes. Slide through to a little baby cobra, lifting your upper chest. Good, and then bring your feet back to that beautiful mountain pose, aka downward dog. Lunge back with the opposite leg, reaching the body back. Fold forward again to that starting fold. You'll see we kind of backtrack on our steps. Keep the knees bent if you need to. And then at 11, reach the arms all the way back up to the sky. And then bring both hands together in front of the chest. All right, so that's 12 steps that we did. 12 steps. Are you ready to try it again? All right, this time I'm going to try to count the steps. So usually you can do right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right? If you do about 12 of these, it's going to be pretty vigorous. So we're going to keep it slow today because this is my first time meeting you, and it's a good idea to walk slowly into things. Now, if you have any hip injuries or any cardiovascular issues with your heart, or bottom line is before you start anything new, do not listen to a random person that you do not know on YouTube. Check in with your general practitioner or your orthopedist if you have one. Anything in that arena is wise, all right? Otherwise, if you are in practice of yoga and you are healthy and you do have permission to do certain movements, do this with care and know in the future that you can actually come in and get started and be free to roam, all right? So Surya Namaskar is pretty approachable for most active beings and a great time to incorporate your strength. We'll try it again. Here we go. Starting at the top, palms together. Here we go. 1. Arms reach up on 2. Fold forward on 3. Step back on 4. Reaching. Go to that mountain pose 5. Down to those 8 points on the floor 6. Roll through 7. Cobra 8. Back to the mountain pose 9. Stepping forward 10. Stepping together 11. Reaching all the way up to the sky. And palms together. Sounds like somebody is ready to go. All right, so let's do the same thing once more. I'm gonna move this back a little. All right, same thing again. Here we go. Palms together. 1. Arms reach up on 2. Fold forward on 3. Step back on 4. Go to the mountain pose 5. Down to 8.6. Follow through 7. Back to the mountain pose 8. Step up through 9. Feet together 10. We're going to reach all the way up to the sky 11. Hands together 12. Let's do that once more. Well, we'll do it twice more so we can even it out. Okay, same thing. 1, hands together. 2, reach the arms up. Fold forward 3. Step back 4. You can slow this down if you need to. Mountain pose 5. Down to those 0.6. All the way through 7. Back to the mountain pose 8. Remove the foot forward. 9. Step together 10. Arms all the way up to the sky 11. And 12. All right, and I'll talk through this last one in terms of what you should focus on because I've kind of been doing a little bit of momentum here, right? So palms in front of the body into that starting pose. Inhale, reach the arms up on 1. Fold forward on 2. That's a lie, this is actually 3. I'll start again. Palms together on 1. Arms reach up on 2. Fold forward on 3. Now we're at it. Step back on 4. Mountain pose on 5. Drop down to that 8-point pose on 6. Go all the way through 2 cobra on 7. And back to mountain pose 8. Step through on 9. Step forward on 10. Lift the arms up on 11. And palms together on 12. All right, how did that go for you? I hope it went really well, right? You have the opportunity to repeat, slow it down, just learn each step, all right? So it's 12 simple steps. It's something that is doable in the morning, especially if you're a person that has full use of their lower and upper systems. If you don't, there's all kinds of ways to modify. And as we move forward in these videos that will be live, I will share them with you, all right? And generally speaking, let's say we'll start between 11:30 a.m. live, and then I'll tweak around with the videos as we post them, and you can go back and review them again, all right? To finish today, we're gonna do some basic abdominal breathing, which you can also find in our reference book that I shared with you earlier, the Asana Pranayama Mudra book. And basically with basic breathing, usually very, very approachable for most. If you're ever starting, again, any new programming, always check in with the doctor. Most importantly for basic breathing, it's really nice, a great thing for you to do before you eat. It's really good for you to do before you are, going off into your day. So after you wake up and do some morning grateful gratitude or meditation practice. And then once you do the breathing exercise, it's just a very great way to regulate your nervous system, calm your mind, and reset you so your focus is on par, all right? So what we'll do today is just 4, 8, 5, 10, 6, 12. 6, 12, 5, 8, 5, 10, 4, 8, right? So we'll breathe in for 4, exhale for 8. Breathe in for 5, exhale for 10. Breathe in for 6, exhale for 12. And work our way back down, all right? I'll talk you through the first 2, and then from there, you can follow me, right? Soften your eyes, find support on the wall if you need it, or a little block to sit on top of. And here we go, let's begin. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale through the mouth, 8. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 10. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12. Inhale for 6. Exhale, 12. Inhale for 5. Exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Then return to your natural breathing. If you feel any different than when you began, check in with your body. Great. When you're ready, open your eyes. All right. So today we just talked a little bit about Ayurveda, the science of life. It's one of the most beautiful practices and parts of the world that people are getting hip to. So stay with me on this channel while I introduce you to all things wellness, all things core, and truly Ayurvedic lifestyle living. All right. One of the things that I wanted to recap was we got to talk a little about Ayurveda. We talked about spring. We talked about movement in the spring, and we also talked about regulating our parasympathetic nervous system anytime. All right. Please join me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. So you don't have to do it alone. I will be here to guide you. All you have to do is show up. All right. Looking forward to seeing you next time. And feel free to come back to the video and in the comments if you have requests or questions specifically about this work. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.